Okay, everyone, this is Sharon, the creator of Self Care for Black Men. And this is meditation series for Black men. And my vision for this is for Black men to see other Black men meditation teachers, as well as Black men who practice meditation, to learn more about it, what it is, and to incorporate this. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Juneous Pettijohn. I'm coming to you from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I've been in this space since about 2008, where I became a registered yoga teacher at that time. And I really didn't start getting into meditation until maybe about a couple years after that. So, and this is kind of like a daily practice. And I've attested the benefits of practicing meditation. And I started doing a lot of studying, taking a lot of teaching workshops. My latest training is to learn more about the eye rest, yoga nidra meditation, guided meditation, which I'm learning that at this time.
Okay. And so, what is meditation? We hear a lot about it. So, what is it?
When I talk about meditation, I like to talk about it in terms of mindfulness. And my definition of mindfulness is means to intentionally pay attention to your present moment experience with mindful attitudes such as acceptance, curiosity, self-compassion, and openness.
Okay. And what are the benefits of meditation? Because people talk about it, and I know I benefit from it. So, what are
Mhm.
the benefits?
The biggest benefit for meditation is stress relief. That's probably like almost the number one benefit of that. But you can always have just have to slow down your thoughts to increase productivity, have a memory. Also, maybe learn more compassion about yourself and others. Also, learn creativity.
Well, definitely when it comes to stress, that is like the number one thing that we all deal with, but especially blacks and especially black men. So we all can definitely, benefit from something that can decrease stress when it comes to that. And so when it comes to meditation, how would someone go about setting up a meditation practice?
One thing about meditation is meditation is all about starting from where you are. So there are different ways you can practice meditation. You can practice doing what's called walking meditation. You can practice meditation on your laying down. But the most common one is sitting meditation. And I always tell people if you can breathe, you can meditate. If you can breathe, you can meditate. And the best way to do is to start a practice. There are many ways, there are many types of meditation. I always mention there's the yoga nidra meditation, which is guided meditation. You can also, go to the meditation online on YouTube and look up guided meditation. You can start from there. And what you want to do is you want to find a time that works for you, and ideally you want to do it on a regular basis that works for you. So the best about meditation is you have to find what works for you in your meditation practice.
Yeah, and when it comes to time, that's one of the things that most people complain about is that they do not have enough time. What would you say about that?
All you need, all you need is 5 minutes. When I'm working with people, like or doing group meditation, I always like to start the session with a 5 minute meditation session. And I do that as a way just to teach them that that's all you need is 5 minutes just to sit and and clear your mind and really get focused on your breath. Now, there's a book called 1 Minute Meditation, so you can meditate for as little as 1 minute up to how long ever you want to sit and meditate for. So the thing about it, you have to make it work for you. You will be surprised if you took an assessment of your time within a 24-hour period, you will realize how much time you have on your hand and how much free time that you may have. What it is, though, people get stuck in this so-called busyness of life that they're so busy they don't have time they think they don't have time to do something that's beneficial for them. But once they incorporate it into their daily practice, the universe will conspire to work for them.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that, about this busyness, because I think that kind of comes into this sense of this hustling and grinding where, oh, I got to hustle and grind to make the money, I got to hustle and grind to do this. And it kind of formed into this business, and where people will almost look at someone, whether you're male or female, if you're not doing something, even if somebody, sitting down too long, like after you finish eating, you still sitting there, you know what I mean? And so you're right. We have this sense of busyness, and then by, being still is something that's really going to help us. Is there anything else that that especially Black men need to know about meditation when it comes to the busyness of it, or at least not the busyness of it, but to help decrease the busyness?
I think first, Black men, I think we need to make our health a priority. We're losing far too many Black men unnecessarily at a young age. Now, I was reading somewhere where a lot of Black men don't live past the age of 70. A lot of them die for various health reasons or are killed off. But why are we on? Why are we here now living? We need to really make health a priority. Now, I know a lot of men are pillars of their community. A lot of them are very active in their organizations. So they're out there making changes to the world, but they forget to take care of number one, that's ourselves, and make it a priority. Like I said, there's not a lot to it. You just sit for 5 minutes, make that time. Treat it. I always say treat it as you go into a meeting. You could call it your meditation meeting, or however you want to label it. And once you make that commitment treat it as a meeting, you put in your calendar, and you stick with the commitment. If you're in a space where you may not have any privacy, go meditate in the bathroom. Go where it works for you. Now, hopefully, the people, they're not violating your privacy. That's a boundary issue that you might need to address. But you have to really make the time when it comes to your health, because you can't serve others if you're sick. If you can't serve others if you can't serve yourself first. So there's nothing wrong with being selfish when it comes to taking care of your health and making your health a priority.
And so really, even just by being, for men or anyone, but particularly men, being the protector and provider of the family, in order for them to do that, sitting still in meditation is one way to help them, I guess you could say, be better or taking care of themselves so they can be of service to others. Because if they're not taking care of themselves, then they're, pretty much running themselves in the ground.
Yes. Also, by making this as a daily practice, it'll maybe slow their reaction time. If they find themselves dealing with a lot of anxiety, or they're find themselves feeling very overly emotional, becoming upset, or becoming reactive to situations, that's something's going on. That's something they need to really check into. I mean, that's all. I'm always believing in the power of counseling and therapy. With that, and it's just in addition to doing that, also picking up a meditation practice where meditation teaches you about the power of slowing down. Instead of you reacting, folks are responding. It doesn't change how you feel. You can still be upset, but when you sit back and just kind of check in with yourself and kind of focus on that breath, you will really maybe to figure out how to respond to situations. You may realize maybe may not be even worth to respond to it, and just keep it moving.
Yeah, and this is very, very, very true, very true. Now, I know that sometimes some people, they kind of talk about when they're sitting in meditation that their mind are racing, or they have problems sitting still. What kind of tips or what can you say about that?
A lot of people think meditation is all about clearing your mind, making your mind go blank. That's impossible. If I knew the answer to that, I would write a book and make $1 million off of it. When you're sitting, your mind you're thinking about a bunch of things. You're thinking about what you have to do in the future. You're worrying about what you have to do in the past. So it's natural for your mind to be all over the place. One tool is to really acknowledge those thoughts and really bring your attention and awareness back to just one thing, which is the breath. and just focus on the breathing. I always tell people your breath is your most powerful tool to relax the body and clear the mind. Because a lot of times when you're thinking about those other things, you're getting a lot more agitated. So just really just acknowledge it. Don't try to make it disappear. It's always going to be there. The world's still moving. You just acknowledge it and just really focus on the breath. Now, if you can't sit, you maybe try laying down in the guided meditation. If you fall asleep, that's okay. That means your body's tired. Or I like to say go for a meditative walk. Maybe go for a nice walk, just kind of really, and while you're walking, instead of walking fast, walk slow and really count your steps and focus on the breath. Focus on the breathing. Or let's say you're washing dishes. Maybe you focus on washing that plate and pay attention to the plate, pay attention to the plate, pay attention to the soap suds. So there are different ways you can incorporate mindfulness meditation to your daily life. But they always say the most important thing is to really focus on sitting down and being still. And when a lot of times people think when you get to meditate like this. Which is no, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. Just sit in a chair or on a couch or wherever you like to sit and just kind of just have some eyes either closed or maybe stare at something. Just kind of focus on that gaze a little bit and just focus on the breathing. So that's not to be a strenuous task.
Okay. And I'm glad that you did break it down too when you were saying like if you're washing the dishes or something that you can, focus on the dishes or the suds and breaking it down in that piece. Because I know that sometimes some people say, where I'm in a meditative state when I'm gardening or when I'm like doing some type of activity. And I know that there's a difference between those two. It's like even though it may allow you, I guess you say, to be in a zone to a certain extent, but it is different than meditating. However, the way that you described it is more focused because when someone's gardening, even though they're focusing on the gardening or something, it kind of depends on where their mind is. If they are like taking each piece, I'm not a gardener, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But taking one by one and really focusing on each thing, then that may be something different. And the same thing if a person is involved in the sports, but if you're just kind of like bike riding and you're doing it, yeah, it may put you in a zone, but it is different than meditation in and of itself. So I'm glad that you did break it down because it is about like truly kind of focusing more so of like each aspect of what you're doing. It's almost like breaking it down to a certain extent.
Yes. Also, another thing about meditation is this is something that you go apply to your daily life. For example, for me, I know I'm a very fast walker, and I tend to get excited about things when I'm walking because I need to just be there. One thing I've learned to really slow down my pace and just really taking the moment, taking the environment. And when I realize that when I slow down, I'm not so quick to run into people or not run or to bump into things. I'm just taking one step at a time, just slowly walking. 'Cause I realize, I get there when I need to get there. And when I do that, I'm not exhausted. I'm not panting. I'm just slowly walking and being a lot more mindful in my movement.
Oh yeah, because in one sense, if we're kind of like in a rush, that's how we bump into things, and we can get hurt ourselves or hurt
Mm-hmm.
someone else. And even though that may not be our intention, but because we're not paying attention, then certain things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell Black men about meditation?
I don't think it's you got this. You could do this. If you could breathe, you can meditate. You just make it a priority in your life. And I'm always here. I always tell people, I'm always easy to get hold of if you have any questions. I'm on Twitter, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can always go to www.iamconfidence.com. That is spelled www.calmfidence.com if you have any questions about anything. But the thing is, though, you have to really make your health a priority number one.
You hear that, fellows? Make yourself number one, then everything else will unfold.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. And that's what I experience too, even with myself. And I see certain things. And that's what I've heard say who, practice meditation, because it allows us to pretty much get to know ourselves better as well, when we're able to focus and be more self-aware.
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, we'll like for you to lead us in a brief meditation practice.
All right. I'll be happy to do so. Let me get set up, get ready. I call this an affirmation meditation practice. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Juneous Pettijohn, and I will be leading you into this brief affirmation meditation. This is a time for you to rest in the spirit of peace, love, joy, gratitude, as we affirm healing for ourselves and others. Let's prepare ourselves for the meditation experience by taking a moment to check in with ourselves and say to ourselves, today I behold all the abundance that surrounds me. Make yourself comfortable by sitting straight up. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, pressing your back into the chair, planting your feet onto the ground, and noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Your breath is your most powerful tool to help you to relax your body and quiet your mind. As you relax, I invite you to affirm, one step at a time is enough for me. One step at a time is enough for me. Continue to breathe deeply and fully as you take this affirmation deep within. One step at a time is enough for me. As you continue to breathe deeply and fully, we'll now affirm peace for ourselves. I choose to live with a peaceful heart. I choose to live with a peaceful heart. Allow yourself to know this affirmation in the silence. Enjoy this moment of peace as you continue to breathe deeply and fully. We are now affirm for others. I choose to live with a peaceful heart. Allow yourself to notice affirmation in the silence. Thank you, Mother Father, for your divine guidance. As you continue breathing deeply and fully, we will now affirm gratitude for ourselves. I am grateful and I love it. I am grateful and I love it. Allow yourself to notice affirmation in silence. Enjoy this moment of gratitude as you continue to breathe deeply and fully. We now affirm for others. I am grateful and I love it. I am grateful and I love it. Allow yourself to know this truth in a silence. Thank you, Mother Father, for your divine guidance. As we prepare to conclude this brief meditation experience, I invite you to take a few deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. Again, take a few deep breaths, breathe deeply and fully. And another deep breath. And when you are ready, I invite you to slowly and mindfully open your eyes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. That includes our meditation experience. Namaste and have a happy day.